Hello and welcome back to Masich Place Stadium in Prince George. Brendan Paulou alongside Morgan Hollick as we get set for Canada West men's soccer action between the MacEwan Griffins and the UNBC Timberwolves. And UNBC going to be looking for a rebound effort, so to speak, after a tough 6-2 loss to the Calgary Dinos on Friday in a game the Dinos pretty much dominated from start to finish. And bit of message sending here today, Morgan, as a lot of lineup changes, a huge shake in terms of the starting 11, where we're going to see Yanni and Tapas start in goal for UNBC instead of Logan Pierce. No cost Neistat in the starting 11. And just obviously a shock to the system here. This young team, which has been shown signs of life all season, had a bit of a downer at home against Calgary, and just maybe a bit of a wake-up call to the team, and just in terms of, maintaining that compete level, and just know that, a lot of, we're kind of deep enough into the season now where, some more progress needs to be made in certain areas, and maybe those expectations weren't met on Friday.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of message sending by Steve, you assume?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think when there's a major shakeup like that in terms of the starting 11?
Well, it's definitely hard. It's hard on the team, and it's hard on the people that are obviously not playing, because for one, the team is losing some of its key cogs, and then you have the players that now have to reflect and overcome that hurdle.
And with more on Friday's loss to Calgary, here is UNBC assistant coach and T-Wolves alum Francesco Bardolino.
You're learning a lot. We've got a young group that in moments showed that they can handle it, in moments they showed that they can compete and fight, and in other moments we showed our age a bit, and we showed that we were a bit naive. We weren't quite matching their pressure. That's a very good Dinos team, one of the best teams I've seen in a while from them, and lots of talented players, high compete level, high energy, and we just have to do a better job of matching that for 90 minutes. The big difference I think today was the fact that in those really important moments around goal, they were willing to put their body on the line, do the extra work, and we just shied away from that challenge at times. So lots of learning, lots of experience out of that team, and maybe a little bit of lack of experience out of ours, but overall, lesson learned. We just take it on the chin, we learn from it, we grow from it, and we go to the next game.
Quick thought on Anton, quick thought on Luke. I mean, goals for both of them, 2 in a row now for Luke, and then Anton gets his first in Canada West. A nice little perk for them, but obviously the team success is at the forefront.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see little, sparks of light and brightness in a game that was otherwise, not so great. Seeing Anton get on the pitch and score his first Canada West goal, exciting feeling for him, and we're happy for him. And Luke has shown a lot of great moments throughout the last 2 games, and notching another goal is fantastic for his confidence. So, I think they both stepped up in moments, which is great. Overall, it doesn't change the result for us, unfortunately, but there are little good pieces that we can take away, and hopefully that gives them, the players around them, confidence to say, yeah, in moments we competed, in moments we were good enough. Now we just have to piece that together for 90 plus minutes. You're learning.
So that was UNBC assistant coach and UNBC T-Wolves alum Francesco Bardolino, and you heard it. Moments where this team's been right there and where they've been good enough, and other times, especially last night, where they weren't, and it's just about finding that consistency. Although there were a couple of bright spots, and Luke Graham scoring in back-to-back games, as well as Anton Zadonsky finding the back of the net late in that 6-2 loss. Mm-hmm. So starting lineup here for the visiting MacEwan Griffins, defender, Lucia Rivera, number 7, Rakan Yasin, number 8, Ali Yildiz, number 13, Logan Clapstein, number 14, Caden Dugas, number 15, Abrahoop Sindhu, number 18, Felix Gite, number 22, Alexander Poprovka in goal, number 23, Samuel Vieira, number 28, Chance Carter, and number 34, Philip Wutzel. So that's the starting 11 for the visiting MacEwan Griffins. Without any further ado, here is the starting 11 for the UNBC Timberwolves. have it. That's your starting 11 for the UNBC Timberwolves. And Morgan, we've talked a little bit about the 6-2 loss to Calgary on Friday. When you played with the women's program after maybe a tough or a lopsided loss, how not only important was it to get off to a better start in the next game, but to also look forward to getting back on the field and kind of make amends for, performance that didn't quite make kind of like the club standard, so to speak.
Yeah, it's definitely a mental battle. One, you're kind of grieving a loss or grieving how you performed in the last game, and then you got to get mentally prepared for the next one. So it's that quick switch.
Of course, we see the lineup changes in the starting 11 videos. The one we touched on, Yanni in for Logan, Koss not in the starting 11. Connor Lewis, of course, not playing today due to a third yellow card. Charlie Stewart also not in the starting 11. So, obviously, UNBC head coach Steve Simonson wanting to look a little bit more at a few guys and wanting to try and get a little bit more out of a few others, and maybe some seat on the bench can definitely light a fire under some of these guys, but only time will tell as we get set for the national anthem here for the Griffins and the T-Wolves. Anthem is sung here on a Sunday afternoon at Prince George. Brendan Paulo alongside Morgan Hollick in game number 2 of this doubleheader between the T-Wolves facing off against the MacEwan Griffins in men's action. Of course, earlier on we saw heroic effort by UNBC in women's action, winning 1-0 over UEC Okanagan, and of course the return of Britton Hitchie proving to be a bit of a tonic for UNBC. 11 shots, 11 saves, and a key goal by Blake Plummer on a well-placed header there on that well-placed shot by Kira Heyman, which led to that header goal, and UNBC gets their first win of the season. So that was quite the game to see, and hopefully that spreads into the men's game here in terms of a little bit of energy and momentum here between the T-Wolves and MacEwan. MacEwan, of course, a bit lower in the standings as well in the Prairie Division, so I would expect that the T-Wolves will come out hungry here in the first few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Those first few minutes are so crucial for setting the tone of the game.
Similar to the women's team, UNBC will be playing in their all-black kits while MacEwan is in their white outfits with the white and maroon shorts. Of course, you have the maroon lettering, the jerseys as well. And I would imagine, too, like the first 5-10 minutes of this game will be especially important for UNBC, given the fact that A, they did not play very well, in Friday's loss to Calgary, and B, you've got some players that wouldn't normally be in the starting 11 now have an open opportunity to put forth a good, strong showing here to start this game.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for those boys to prove themselves and show where they fit into the new lineup.
One of those players, of course, Mateo Cazzetto, normally kind of red-shirted last year, didn't see any action. He played sparingly to start in this season, and now he finds himself in the starting 11 here. As it looks like UNBC will break the huddle. And, of course, a guy like Yanni, who's had some injuries, tore his ACL last year, didn't play at all. He's backing up Logan for the most part and now finds himself in some game action for the second game in a row. I don't know how well you know Yanni, but, of course, Yanni, a local guy, somebody that's well-liked within the soccer community here. So for him to get an opportunity like this is obviously a big deal for him.
It's big to return back from any injury and a big showing to get it 2 starts back-to-back.
And Yanni wearing the yellow kit today as we're underway here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon at Prince George as the MacEwan Griffins and the UNBC Timberwolves do battle here as off the opening kickoff. The Griffins do possess here as Chance Carter looking to redistribute. Hagwan Kim, tight little turn away from Carter. And Adam Cordiner tries to send it end over end. Ball takes a bit of a funny hop, and Cazzetto gets an early touch here. One thing we saw in Friday's loss to Calgary is they played Isaac Tate towards the middle of the field to get away from a certain matchup, and it seems like to be the case again today where he's up in the midfield a lot more than his natural wing position. So maybe a tactical switch here from Steve again after seeing some good results towards the second half of Friday's game, and we'll see how this positively affects the T-Wolves. But I'm curious to hear from your perspective how a tactical switch like that, in terms of getting a player to switch positions mid-game and then have it carry over into the next one, how that can positively benefit a player.
Well, with a player like Isaac Tate, he's quite quick and he's good with his feet. So if you can shift that to where those talents can really shine, then it can positively impact your team. So it was a good read by Steve, and he's trying it again.
Trevor Scott getting away from traffic here. He's hauled down there by Felix Guite. Tate back on it here. He kind of locks up with one of the Griffins players. That's Ollie Yildiz. Kuhn works it around far side. Hagwan Kim with the header. Now comes back to Stauffer. Possession here for the T-Wolves as we're now 2.5 minutes into half number 1. Griffins back in. It's chipped to the goalkeeper, Poprovka. Now Tate into the middle, looking to split, has the ball, plays it back. Jordan in pursuit here, and it comes to Cordiner, and Cordiner will softly play to Colin Stauffer. Cordiner, one of those third-year guys for Steve Simonson, and a bit of a utility player at times. Sometimes he's played up, sometimes he's played on the back end. You know, he's been in and out of the lineup as well, but Cordiner, another one of those guys, Morgan, that's getting called upon to play a lot more minutes today.
You need a player that can have some versatility on your team.
See Cordiner again getting in a battle forward against Yildiz. Kewen just looking to maybe slow things down a little bit on this breakout. Carter with the touch. Wide side, they're looking for Dugas. Getting to it first, though, was Luke Graham. Graham scoring in back-to-back games for the T-Wolves. First year, very, very solid for the T-Wolves, and getting rewarded with another start here today. A header there from Cazzetto when he was pressured there in the back by Yassin. That'll lead to a deep throw in here for MacEwan, and maybe a little bit of a bobble there from Cazzetto, maybe panicking a little bit on that peel back there by the T-Wolves, and thus allowing MacEwan to set up shop deep inside of UNBC territory. MacEwan will keep the ball inside T-Wolves territory. Ball rolls out of play following that kick. Cazzetto, long kick goes over the head of Graham, and a couple early miscues from first year out of campus, and maybe some nerves here. You know, it's your first start, first maybe extended look here, and just trying to get those early game jitters out of the way here for Cazzetto. Gun hold. Turns it upfield. Soft little boot gets it to Tate. Tate. Twisting and turning away from traffic. Ball rolls out, and MacEwan again will throw in. Chance Carter gets it back here for the Griffins. Set up in front, long boot, nice header there by Hagwan, and T-Wolves will look to repossess here. It's Gunhold. Gunhold stripped of the ball. Guite twisting, turning away from Gunhold, and resetting here is Dugas. Clapstein end-to-end, good boot here for the Griffins. Carter looking for the header, a little bit of a set piece here, but T-Wolves figure it out. And a nice job of competing there by Cordner to box out Yasin and take away what looked to have been a prime scoring chance for Seven and White, as Antapis will kick it out to midfield. Gunhold in transition. Chasing after it here is Weddle. Weddle holds the line. Snoffer. Jordan. James Jordan taps it ahead to Isaac Tate. Tate back into the middle. Nice play here to Scott. Scott twisting up inside to Graham. Scott. Stoffer. Open wing, it's Cordner. Cordner, far side, looking to get a shot away. Dipsy Doodles past his man. Ball goes to the top of the box. Bit of a bobble there from MacEwan. They get away with it, though, as Carter gets spun around by Stoffer, but not before he repossesses. 2-on-2 in transition. Good speed here by Yasin. Yasin looking to go and bull rush Kim. Then he gets knocked away. And Jordan will reset for the T-Wolves. Kim. Back to Graham. Scott. Cordner gets it along the sideline looking for Tate. That's intercepted there by Clapstein. MacEwan resets from about the 35-yard marker. Sandu, or Dugas rather, has it here. Dugas looking to get forward. Guite met there by two T-Wolves. Coming back there is Dugas. Now it's Carter. 1-on-1 against Stoffer. Lets a shot go. That's blocked nicely there by Colin Stauffer, and Cordner sends it up in the air, up and out of play, and MacEwan actually keeps it in rather, as it straddled the line but stayed in. Long boot, and Tapas gets contact there, and that's the last thing you want to see if you're head coach Steve Simonson, is to see Yanni get nicked up early on in this game, and 50-50 ball. Yanni gets contacted, whistle blows, and he'll get the benefit of the doubt there from the official. But I'm just going to ask you, Morgan, we now played 10 minutes of this one. What are you seeing so far from both sides?
It's quite evenly matched, I would say, in that everybody's kind of going forward and coming back, and just a little jittery, it seems, at times, where you get the ball and it's those quick little missed touches that are giving each team equal opportunity.
Waddell punches in. He tried to sneak past the defender. He did, but getting to it first there was Poprovka for MacEwan. And maybe a bit of a feeling out process, too, between both schools. These teams necessarily don't always play each other every season, so maybe when you only play a team every so often, there's a bit of a feeling out process in terms of what the other team is going to do.
Absolutely, there is that unfamiliar state, and trying to see where, like, even just a team attacks sometimes more to a different side or has different players that utilize different skills. So just feeling that out early in this game.
Cordner. Kim up high. In front for Tate. Tate runs under it here. Now Graham. Scott. Cazzetto slides it over to Stauffer. Stauffer peels back. He'll find Kim. Weddle. Cazzetto, time and space to move, finds Waddell. Cazzetto again, touches the ball here. Scott slaps it back. Graham into the middle. Back to Tate. Tate finds some open space. Gets around Clapstein. Ball comes to Graham, and now Waddell has it near sideline. Cazzetto. Nicely placed ball. Nobody in the middle, though, for UNBC, and it's turned aside there by Rivera. Good tackle there by Cazzetto, getting the ball, and then draws some applause from the crowd. Good job by the Kamloops product to cleanly play it ahead. Now it's Cole Gunhold in the middle. Waddell back to Scott. Scott, Gunhold, Kim. Pass misses everybody, and eventually finds its way to Luke Graham. Graham gets it ahead to Tate, takes a peek, he's at the corner, twists and turns away from one, now from another. Gunhold, slap pass to Graham. That was a nice setup there by Gunhold, but Graham out of room, but good creativity there from number 9 in black to see both Tate and Graham in that same area.
Mm-hmm. It was a good opportunity there.
You know, whenever Gunhold has been in, I've actually liked his game quite a bit, and I think this will be the second start for Cole Gunhold this season, if I'm not mistaken, and looking very effective early on here for head coach Steve Simonson in the starting 11. As MacEwan will catch a breath here as one of their players fixes an equipment issue, and the goalkeeper will slap it ahead far side, and MacEwan will start out just in front of their own bench. End over ender. Kim misses the header, comes to Carter. Offside here, the linesman says no. Great save there by Antepis. Rebound try by Carter over the goal. And the Timberwolves get lucky there in what looked to have been a close play on the far side of the field, but Antepis, his first great save of the match. Scott tackled from behind, and the MacEwan player gives the 1-4, but that was a foul, and free kick here for the aforementioned Scott as they'll play it ahead to Hagwon Kim. Kim. Now to Stauffer. Strong boot in for Tate. Tate this time on the far side. Cuts towards the middle. Cordner puts the ball in play looking for Gunhold. Good step up there by Stauffer. Scott. Bull rushes. Waits. Shoots. Tries to find Tate in behind. Good idea there by Scott. But there was a man in the area. And Stauffer will bull rush it ahead. They're going to say T-Wolves ball. Throwing it in here will be Kim. Kim just redirecting traffic here. So on these deep throw-ins, what's the attacking player here, Kim with the ball, what's he looking for from his teammates in terms of just kind of bunching up and kind of giving his team a chance to get that prime scoring opportunity?
Yeah, you're looking for those pockets of space where you can get the ball and get it going forward. And you're also looking to see where there's maybe a cluster of people and trying to avoid that area.
Throw in here for MacEwan. It's going to be Dugas that's going to start things up here. And some contact there by Scott is called, so turnabout is fair play here as Scott and Yildiz exchange pleasantries for the second or third time already in this game. So Yildiz with a bit of an angled free kick here, kind of like we saw in the women's game, where we're going to see all these players bunched up to one side.
Yep.
Maybe looking for a set piece or a header.
It looks like the Griffins have a set piece by the two.
So they side-wide it in front, nobody there. Yildiz will actually get it back here near side. Headed down there by James Jordan. Gunhold will run under it here. And he'll play it ahead to Trevor Scott. Scott plays it ahead. It's Jordan. Moves it over to Cordner. Cordner. Back to Tate. Tate gets it in stride, but he's knocked off it as soon as he gets it. And MacEwan will reset defensively as we now approach the 20-minute mark of the opening half, and still a bit of a feeling out process between these two teams. It's been an even game. Sandu. Cazzetto knocks it down, but it's picked up by Yildiz immediately, and now Yasin. Dugas there. Long boot. Connects far side in front of the UNBC bench. Long kick connects end over ender, and running under there is Dugas. Dugas, good speed, looking to cross over. Nice comeback there by Stauffer. Quick kick, nice block in front there as Dugas now back to the flagpole. MacEwan back on it here. It's Dugas one more time, looking to bend it, goes up in the air. Nice block, and now running under it is Trevor Scott. Oh, good tackle there by Clapstein. Now Gunhold is sent into the middle. He's 2-on-2, But a great converge there by Sandu again. And now some contact there by Cazzetto as he was trying to play the ball and just didn't quite stop in time, and that's a no-no.
Just a little too flagrant with that.
The ref calls him over, gives him a bit of a warning. And Yildiz gets an explanation from the official. Threatening kick there by MacEwan, ball up in the air. And it's going to be UNBC ball by the looks of things as Tapas will look to play it ahead. Kim. Back to Gunhold. Weddle plays it into a tight spot there, and Stauffer was in a vulnerable position. Now comes to Carter in transition, in front, and it's a good play there on a finish by Yildiz, and not a good play there by Waddell to make it 1-0 as Stauffer was in a vulnerable position, and a rookie mistake there, and it lands up in the back of the goal. It's 1-0 MacEwan.
Yeah, those two were paired together the entire time, and then Pass was in a very vulnerable spot.
Yeah, Weddle trying to make something happen there and just didn't transpire, as it seemed like there were 2 or 3 players of MacEwan already in that same vicinity as Stauffer, and that led to that transition rush, and bit of an easy goal there for MacEwan. And the T-Wolves going to have to dig down deep here in the 22nd minute.
Yeah, just an unfortunate goal there.
What do you think Weddell should have done better there? Do you think he should have maybe gone down the sideline maybe instead?
Yeah.
Or
you could see that the middle was already starting to pair up, and that you had Stauffer had MacEwan right on his back already. So he should have looked either forward or even bypass that and chip it over to the other side.
a chance. Carter gets the goal from Yildiz. And scraping off the turf here is Sandu, so he'll come off. So MacEwan draws first blood in this game. It's 1-0 for the Griffins. So UNBC will look to pick themselves off the mat and try to draw back on even terms. Winnell will touch the ball here. Long boot tries to stretch it to Tate. That's a better look there from 12 in black as Tate gets it back and kicked off it. They're going to say MacEwan ball, but a much better look there from Jacob Waddell on that pass to Isaac Tate. Long kick heads to an open area and out of bounds. Maybe not the outcome MacEwan was looking for, as just headed to an open area, nobody there. Now Kim will take it ahead for UNBC on the free kick. Waddell. Cazzetto surveys the scene, cuts towards the middle. Scott kicks it back to Cazzetto. He'll get another crack at things, and Now he'll kick a deep, well-placed ball. Tate's in behind. Does he have a shot at it? Yes, he does! And good job there by Pobravka to be quick on that, but a well-placed ball by Mateo Cazzetto. Timed that perfectly with Tate.
Yeah, good luck and a good opportunity there.
Stretch pass by MacEwan. Contact there on Weddle. He'll throw it into Cazzetto right away. Cazzetto contacted down. That draws a whistle. As Carter up to physicality there, and that's going to be a yellow card on Carter. So Cazzetto will take it from pretty much right at the point of contact here. And Tapas will reset here for Hagwon Kim. Kim. Back to Tapas. Gonna have to make a quick decision with it here, and he'll let this one go. Will go down the sidelines for Weddell. Weddell knocked off it there by Sandu. He'll play it ahead in the middle. Onside here to the Griffins, and Tapas gets there first and almost got contacted again there as he'll throw it down. And Cordner will begin the sequence here for UNBC. Gun hold. Kim. Back for Cazzetto. Soft chip here for Weddell. Weddell, good speed. Give and go here to Graham. Weddell try to cut towards the middle. That was telegraphed perfectly by the Griffins. Back on it here is Yasin. Dribbles back to Tapas. He'll easily converge on it. Now Tate. In between two Griffins defenders. Poprovka will chase under it. And oh, Tate almost got a head on that ball. That was a little bit too close for comfort there by the MacEwan netminder.
Yeah, that was a little bit cheeky in a way.
Now Graham sets it up here for Jordan. Scott. Trevor Scott. Waits in. Cazzetto. Far side to Kim. Cazzetto. Weddell. Stoffer right at the midfield stripe. He'll redistribute here to Kim. He'll do the exact same, and both players kind of playing pitch and catch with it right now as we've now entered the 28th minute of this first half. 1-0 MacEwan. Off the goal by Ali Yildiz. Stoffer, chip. Gun hold. Back to Graham. Scott chips it in front. Ball intercepted there by Rivera. And MacEwan will skirt the pressure, at least for now, as Kim tried to pinch up and re-engage. He just missed the ball, but Cazzetto's there to bail out. And Weddell will reset here for Trevor Scott. Scott back to Kim. Back to the sidelines it goes. Cordner back to Jordan. Maybe give and go here. It comes to Tate. Tate. Bull rushes, holds the line in front. Oh, looking for gun hold. Back in front. Jordan! Oh, side of the goal there. And looked pretty promising from there. You see Jordan putting his hands in his face, but a great look there by James Jordan off another tremendous effort by Isaac Tate. Scott taps it ahead. Waddell turns it over. He was looking for Graham. It's picked up there by Dugas. The tackle there by Graham. Ref says play on. Carter retakes here for MacEwan. He's back into the middle. Watch there by Cazzetto. Good battle. Now Guite. MacEwan gets it back in the box. Good kick out there by Scott. Peels it up and out of play. And Trevor Scott defensively responsible there as he makes a good stop on it. Throw in here for MacEwan. 30 minutes in, shots on goal, just 2-1 for MacEwan, but more importantly, it's 1-0 Griffins here in this first half. Ball sent all the way back to Sandu. Sandu slaps it ahead to Dugas. Klopstein. Pass connects here with Dugas, but right there is Graham to redirect him a little bit. Nice job there by Dugas to skirt traffic. Comes back into the danger area, but Scott again chips it out. And Jordan will give chase here on Klopstein. MacEwan back in, but an errant pass goes awry. Yildiz was breaking one way when the ball went another, and not a great finish there from what looked to been a promising possession to start for MacEwan. Waddell. Back to Graham. Cazzetto. Scott. One touch to Graham. Graham's going to get upfield. Luke Graham has some room to move. Cuts towards middle. Side swipe pass to Waddell. Waddell back for Tate. Can't get a shot away. Tate gets away from traffic. Looks over his shoulder. Tate looking to shoot. Unable to do so. Tate now back to the far side. Gets a kick away, but he runs out of room. But it's going to be a corner, though, for UNBC. So good ball movement there, and it all started there by Luke Graham right at the midfield strike.
Just those building plays that can lead to those opportunities there.
Just going to ask you, prior to that possession, what can UNBC do a lot better to maybe get some of their skilled players a little more open?
I think those movements on and off the ball, and then just quicker passes, because sometimes we're stagnant and missing opportunities.
And then you see Kim off the back post there. Well-placed header just over the goal. Great chance off that corner by the Timberwolves. Dugas gets it ahead as Carter is a bit further back now with the Griffins breaking out of their own zone. Griffins twisting and turning, a lot of contact there down the sideline as thought maybe Corder was going to get caught there, but it's going to be Timberwolves ball instead. They work it from far to near here as Waddell has it for UNBC. Cazzetto swipes it to Waddell. Good press here by MacEwan, but Cazzetto doing a good job of skirting away from it. Ball comes far side now as Kim will redirect traffic, skirt away from one man, and peel back to Stauffer. Cazzetto. Stauffer. Scott checked hard there by a Griffins player. Now James Jordan will reset. Now it's Kim. And Tapas slides it over to Waddell. Gazzetto again slowing things down here for UNBC. Long boot. Tate. And the ball will roll out here, so Waddell will get another chance to throw in. Will come to Stauffer. Stauffer twists and turns back to Gazzetto. And Tapas will retake here, and now Kim. Sideline to Cordiner. James Jordan muscled off the ball a little bit too much, though, as the ref calls the Griffins on it. And UNBC back on it even field. Long boot there by Kim. Waddell watches it in. It's checked out there by MacEwan. MacEwan protesting that it should be their ball, but the linesman says no, and that's maybe a break there for UNBC. What case would have Sandu had there to argue that it would have been their ball?
If it had knocked off of the Timberwolves player, but it looked like it cleanly went off the Griffins. But sometimes if you argue, maybe it'll get overturned, but highly unlikely.
MacEwan does get it back here, this time on the far side by Vieira. Kim. And Tapas now to Gazzetto. Nice little move there by Cordiner to get away from traffic, and now it's Trevor Scott getting up the field. Good speed here. James Jordan, can he keep it in? No, he cannot, as the ball dribbles out as soon as he tries to run under it. But you can see UNBC trying to get the speed game going now along the wings, maybe seeing a little bit more of an advantageous matchup for them, is just trying to spring the likes of James Jordan a little bit more than maybe what they were earlier.
They tried a few times through the middle, and it seems pretty protected by the Griffins, so you got to look for other opportunities to attack.
Scott stretches it for Tate. He can't get there as Poprovka beats him to it. Griffins pass it across. That looked a bit risky as Graham closed the gap pretty nicely for UNBC. Turnover there. Jordan coming back, but a hard tackle on Gunhold, and going down for MacEwan is Klopstein by the looks of it. Klopstein a little shaken up in front of the scorer's table. Gunhold checking to see if he's all right, and it looks like he will be. Gunhold getting an explanation from the official. As we enter the final 6+ minutes of this first half, still 1-0 MacEwan, courtesy of Ollie Yildiz. As the wind's starting to pick up again. Now MacEwan gets some speed. Tapped in front. Oh, Carter mishandling the shot. Now Yildiz again. Oh, what a great stop by Tapas there. Yildiz dialed in. And Tapas, his best save of the game.
That was a really good save.
Yeah, Yildiz forced Antapas to really stretch out there, and a nice job there by the Prince George product to get both hands on it and knock it away. Quarter here, back post. They're going to cluster in the box. And they're going to say that's a goal for MacEwan. UNBC arguing it's a handball, but to no avail. And the Griffins will find themselves up a pair here as it's 2-0. So let's catch the announcement as to who touched that last, but either way, MacEwan's up a pair, and that's a huge goal against. Heading into halftime as they're going to give it to Rakin Yasin from Chance Carter. So Carter set up both goals today, and Yasin will make it 2-0 here for the Griffins.
MacEwan goal scored by number 7, Ricky Yasin, assisted by number 28, Chance Carter.
Now Tate breaks free, he's pushed off it there. And they're going to say goalie ball here for MacEwan. And definitely not what you wanted to have happen there for the T-Wolves. You're within one. You know, you want to go into halftime down one or tied if you can, but that was maybe an early backbreaker for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from those 2 goals because now it's that mental of, okay, we need 2 to tie. You need the momentum to get the 1. So it's just a hard mental battle now.
Now Waddell knocked off the ball here as the MacEwan Griffins slap it ahead. Yasin tackled hard there by Cazzetto. Corner here for MacEwan, as it's going to be Yildiz setting the table here. And Kim and Carter having a conversation with the official before the corner kick. Kim obviously not happy about something. Then he tells both players to go on their merry way. Corner here, ball is airborne, running under it. Here is Jordan. Nice kick out there by James. Now Weddle, high up in the air. Throw in here for UNBC forthcoming. Gun hold. Stauffer. Scott back to Cazzetto, now to Kim. Kim, long pass to Tate. Tate, wide side of the field, looking for some options. Trying to split the D, he's knocked down. And it looks like it'll be MacEwan ball here. Ball chipped deep here. Carter, nice hand fighting there between him and Kim, and referee finally blows it down and gonna reach out a yellow card here, and they're gonna give it to Kim. I thought maybe Carter grabbed the jersey first, but they're going to say Kim was the culprit.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from over in this angle, but there was definitely jersey pulling on both sides, it looked like.
See Steve Simonson having a brief word with the official.
Your attention, please. Yellow card's been assessed to UNBC number 8, Egon Kim.
Free kick here for MacEwan. And Tapas will get a tap on it here. And MacEwan arguing that the goalie made contact first, but call goes UNBC's way. Kim will slap it ahead here to Cordiner. Jordan. Off the head of a MacEwan player, now Gunhold. Three minutes of added time here before the conclusion of half number one as UNBC trying to get on the board here before the final whistle sounds for half one. Now Scott. Scott back in. Skirts a check. Now Gunhold. Gunhold. Turning into the middle. Looking to get a shooting angle to somebody here. Now it's Graham. Graham back to Waddell. Graham goes down hard. Waddell has it back, looking for Gunhold. That's turned over. Scott gets it back, twists and turns away from one man. Him and Yildiz collide one more time. Now Carter in a bit of a tight spot. He's redirected there by three T-Wolves. Now Graham pursues it one more time. It's kicked out by the Griffins after all that. And Cazzetto hens it down here as we're well into stoppage time to close out half number one. Cross into the middle, headed down there by Kim, and a reverse bicycle kick by Scott. That was partially blocked as well. Comes to Graham, he's knocked over by Clapstein, and Clapstein a little dumbfounded by the call, but cooler heads will prevail. Lead feed pass there from Kim to Waddell. Headman pass, Kim. Long boot, has Graham in behind. Can he get there? Yes, he does. But they're going to say it was offside. The far linesman called it. Long boot. And the whistle will blow, and the T-Wolves will have to dig down deep again here, down 2-0 at halftime, and some timely offense by the Griffins from Yildiz and Yassine find MacEwan in the driver's seat through the opening 45 minutes. I guess just maybe give us your observations for the opening 45 minutes there, Morgan.
We're playing a lot of balls to people who already have checks on their back, so it makes it quite difficult to do anything afterwards that ball has been delivered, because you already have a poke tackle coming through. So we gotta, one, look for other options, and two, we gotta look in those spaces that are being vacated by Tate moving in the front.
And do you think we'll see maybe another overhaul in terms of the lineup in the second half? Obviously, you had the changes into the starting 11. You still find yourselves down by 2. You know, what do you think Steve Simonson might be looking for in terms of a spark here for half number 2?
It's kind of hard to say what he'll do, but I wouldn't say there's any players that have made critical errors aside from that soft pass in the back, but just looking to see, maybe do you give them a few more opportunities, or do you, like you said, overhaul the lineup a little bit?
T-Wolves down by 2, looking to get on the board here. Heading into second half action. We'll be back here on Canada West TV from Masich Place Stadium in Prince George. T-Wolves going to have to dig down deep here after the halftime break.
Being here, obviously, I think Canada just in general is a lot more like accepting and open to people of different identities. So I definitely feel like I belong. Like when I go out, I never feel like I'm like an outsider like looking in, and everyone on the team is very welcoming with that, and like I feel like I have a place.
It'll be fantastic, you know, to see, you know, all our efforts finally paying off for something bigger than just you know, a sport. Something like that, something like a rainbow crossbuck will be so good for us.
It just like brings everyone together and creates a strong atmosphere where everyone can kind of be themselves and be supported by everyone and brought together.
It's great to spread awareness within the UNBC community. It really shows inclusiveness, and it's going to a great cause, so I really hope everyone can come out and buy a shirt.
Promoting that there's a safe environment for everyone and a welcoming environment, you know, is so important, and just to show that inclusiveness is, you know, extremely important in every environment.
Being on a team involves not only learning about your teammates and what their backgrounds look like, but then being able to use your experiences and work as a team to support other people who do not have a team behind them.
We look forward to it every year. The guys really love the environment that's created within the crowd, and we hope to see you guys there.
Oh yeah, it's a great feeling. I mean, the intensity is so much better than the summer league, right? So I was just doing a little bit of PCSL in the summer, and just getting back to U Sports with Steve and the team is just a great feeling. Yeah, the first season kind of taught me a lot of things. Like, U Sports is a lot more physical than the youth league, right? So just getting prepared this summer to deal with that physicality a bit more, and then also just kind of getting these young rookies kind of ready for the next season here. Last year I was very nervous coming in, right? So, because it's just a bunch of new faces, new scenery here with Prince George. But coming in, it's kind of for year two, it's a lot more comfortable. Fitness is definitely good here. Getting in the first couple of sessions here, we're doing a lot of fitness. But yeah, I'm just excited for the season, man. The main goal obviously is to make playoffs, right? It's every year is kind of that goal. So I hope with this team, I mean, we got a good chance, hopefully. We got pretty good chemistry here. Last year I feel like it was a big change in scenery because there was a lot of guys kind of from other teams coming in, right? Like we had 4 guys from the same team, right? So it was a bit of a like grouped up, I feel like. And this year it's kind of, the group is really meshing really well. So I feel like our chemistry this year will be very good. Oh yeah, the preseason's huge. I mean, boys here are all buzzing, right? So we're just all ready for these first couple games here.
It's such a privilege to learn these traditions, and even a bigger honor to be able to share it with our seniors. So overall, it's been a really special morning, and we're all very thankful to learn this process from Bev and the others.
Every single senior that, you know, graduates out once they're done with their time here at UNBC will receive a drum. It's something that, you know, all of us student athletes have come together to, you know, gift to them.
As Bev said, every piece isn't perfect, but every piece is very meaningful, and I think that's something to say about the process and how much we care about the work we're putting into these drums. And you know, it's a little wet, it's a little messy, but we've been having a lot of fun creating this.
Everyone that makes it, like, you know, we all have our own ways. It's unique to each person. That's why it's super cool when the seniors receive it, because, you know, it's like for myself, I'm making a drum. One of my graduating teammates next year might get the drum I made, and knowing that they will get it it's awesome.
I'm Viv van der Rende, and today I'm going to teach these guys some Dutch. So these are the 3 words I'm going to try and let Liam speak. Wasmachine. It's pretty good. Schoen. Tafel.
Wash machine. Schoen. Tafel.
Tafel. Tafel. Tafel. Tafel. Yeah, great. That's the best one. Okay, CH makes a G, so it's SG. So schoen. Yeah. Go on. Yeah, so schoen. 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 Yes. Schoen. 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 Okay, that was pretty good. And tafel. Tafel. Schoen. 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 No, it's an S. Schoen. Schoen. Yes, good. And this is tafel.
Tafel.
Yeah, great. No. Okay, so first one is wasmachine.
Wasmachine.
That's perfect. Okay. This SCH is so Schoen. And the last one is tafel.
Tafel.
Yeah, say it again.
Tafel.
Yeah, that's good. So that means wash machine, shoe, and table.
Wash machine.
Today's always a very important day. It's a good refresher that everybody's here for us as athletes that can help us through it. And it's just nice to see the boys again. Has been a while, and even the other teams. It's nice to be around everyone and meeting.
I think it was really important just to get to know all the faculty and staff in the school as well. There's even some stuff that I've learned being a returner as a 5th year. So it's just really nice to meet everyone who is supporting our team, supporting the men's team as well, and just getting to know everyone. It's really nice.
Oh, it means so much because we struggle balancing school, the sport, and sometimes with jobs as well. It feels amazing to know that all these people are here to support us, that whatever we need, that we can talk to them and just have everything we need to succeed.
We do have a lot of eager people on our team this morning. I think we did a really good job doing our fitness testing. I mean, especially for the first day, it can be a little nerve-wracking, but I think we all did really well and everyone really meshed together today, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
Can't wait for training tonight and the rest of the week. I've been so excited for months now, and I'm very happy for it. Today's always a very important day. It's a good refresher that everybody's here for it.
Getting to know all the boys is super important. Chemistry within the team is super important, so definitely off the field there's a lot of bonding going on, which I think is going to help us a lot when it comes to game time, right? There's a lot of new rookies, so really getting to mesh with the team is going to be important. As time goes on, I'm understanding the concepts and I'm really putting them to work, and you can see that it helps and it's working. I'm hard working, right? I'm making those passes, I'm doing the right decisions, right? Steve's talking about how there's so many different ways that you can play out of pressure or this or that, right? And so it's just, as long as you understand the concept and you look at the situation and you make your decision, as long as you got a good decision, you're doing good. Oh, it's definitely faster. All the boys, they're all buzzing, we're all getting out there, it's 100% go, go, go. We're playing games where it's just, get your fitness up, get going. It's amazing, it's a lot faster. Learning lots of new information, right? All the formations and how that kind of fits in and what my role is, what all the new rookies' roles is. But yeah, it's super, super fun. All the boys are super great. It's a big community, right? We're getting really tight with each other.
I play striker and winger. Sometimes I play attacking mid as well. It's been great. Coming in and training with these guys has been a great experience. Love the team, love how they play. I've been watching them for a while now and it's really cool. It's really exciting to see how they move the ball. Steve, he seems like a great coach. He's already taught me a few key techniques and smaller details that I've never learned before, so I'm very grateful for that, and so far it's been great. The school looks really cool. I love the architecture behind it. It looks awesome. All the art is really cool, really inspiring, and I think it connects really well with the First Nations people around here, and I thought that was pretty cool. The facilities around here are beautiful, the indoor turf, all of it. I love soccer because it gives me a place that I can go if I'm feeling stressed, if I'm feeling happy, if I'm feeling anxious, whatever it might be. I can always take a ball to the pitch, put on the boots, juggle around, whatever it might be, and I feel much better and I feel like I'm in a happy place. I played for Premier Soccer Academy. We played in the U21 men's division. I feel like I'm going to finally feel a level of success. I've been putting lots of work into trying to find a new goal, and after that happens, I feel that goal will have been achieved.
It's great. I mean, the boys have been super welcoming. As soon as I came here, I just felt super welcome. They're super friendly. It's a good environment to be in for sure. I'm a left back, so I'm a defender. But one of the things that people count me out for is my defensive ability. I feel like that's honestly my strength. Is people don't expect that because of my height and size. Is that my defensive ability is quite strong. I mean, I've been playing it since I was 4, and it's what makes me happy. I played for Langley United for a year. That was HPL until we folded after one season. I went to Mountain, where I really, I think that's where I developed the most for sure. And I've that turned into Burnaby, went to nationals, won nationals, which is an awesome experience. And it's evolved me into the player I am now. So. Yeah, I'm very into the mind and body, like psychology. I either want to go into that I want to stick to the sports side because, sports is what is my main interest, right? Of course, my mom is my biggest motivator. She's probably the biggest, part of my life. And, I've lost people, so that is also my biggest motivator, is to, show them I can do this and I'll do it for them. Also, just Chilliwack and like that community. It's small, but the soccer communities are woven together and they're all very close, and I'm very grateful for them.
My name is Liam Blair Murphy. I'm from Victoria, British Columbia, and I play left wing or striker. I wanted to go to UNBC because it's kind of close to home, which means a lot to me because I grew up in Smithers. I also really want to go there because all the guys reaching out to me and stuff, and I really like Coach Steve. I'm also excited to take psychology there and kind of learn about brain health because I've always been interested in it. Growing up, I've always been an attacking player. Definitely probably my creativity on the ball, taking players one-on-one and whatnot. I've always taken pride in that. I love soccer because it's always been kind of like a stress reliever and whatnot. Like going to the pitch with my boys or whatever, just going and training alone. Like it's always been something that you can go do just to relax and have fun and stuff, kind of just escape. Making the jump to Canada West, I'm really excited to play against bigger, faster, stronger players, just to see how much bigger, faster, and stronger I can get as a player. I'm still developing too, so playing up in Canada West is going to be good for me, I think. Off season, I'm definitely going to be training pretty hard, working on my first touch and my stamina and whatnot, kind of just gearing up, getting ready. In my free time, I like listening to music, and I like watching TV shows. I like training. I like hanging out with my friends.
It means a lot to me to make it on the Timberwolves roster. I've watched them for years at Massey Place, just watching them play every weekend, cheering on the boys. I know a lot of the boys who graduated from the same PGYSA as me, so it means a lot to really play at the highest level of university and play for my hometown. The boys here are great. They're very, very great players, and they're also really nice. It's like a nice balance between they have fun, but it's also really, really technical and high level. Like good standards. So when you know a couple second, third years, even first years, it just helps. They're nice to you. They help you settle in with the new environment, and new boys that you play with. I like to be kind of like a commander when I play. I was the captain of my team, and I just like to I like to play direct, play long balls. I feel like it's a really good skill of mine, and I also just like I can also play short, keep the ball, knock it around. It means a lot, I spend my entire life growing up here. I have all my family here, and I hope that I can play a couple games in the next few years and they can watch me. My grandfather played it, my dad played it.
Well, hello and welcome back to second half action here in Prince George as the UNBC Timberwolves going to have to dig down deep here in half number 2 to get back into this game against the MacEwan Griffins. Down 2-0 here against the visitors. Rakan Yassin as well as Ali Yildiz, the 2 goal scorers for MacEwan in the opening half, and they find themselves in the driver's seat up by a deuce. Only one notable change here from head coach Steve Simonson. Charlie Stewart and Adam Corden are out. So really with the absence of Connor Lewis, Morgan, Charlie Stewart really the only thumper or big player the T-Wolves have in their lineup today. Other than that, it's pretty small. I mean, you've got Luke Graham, who's a fair size. Cole Gunhold's also a fair size, but they're first years. But Charlie's really the only that experienced physical player that they have in their system.
And with inexperience, it also comes that uncertainty and just kind of second guessing. So you need that bigger player with a little bit more comfortability.
So we were talking at halftime about, executing more open spaces where maybe the T-Wolves are maybe trying to get some looks to players that were already covered and already kind of getting that little bit of a push there from those MacEwan counterparts. So we'll see if the T-Wolves find a better job to distribute the ball in some more open spaces in half number 2. And maybe the addition of Charlie Stewart will help. T-Wolves start off in MacEwan territory here as it's going to be throwing in. Twist and turn here. Ball comes all the way back to Cazzetto. Comes back to Yanni. Yanni, just kick it deep here, end over end. Waddell met there by Carter. Carter set up both MacEwan goals in that first half to make it a 2-0 game for the visitors. 28's also been very physical in the game, especially with the likes of Hagwan Kim. As you see Hunter getting in the scheme of things with Clapstein as 2 physical players vying for the loose ball as Poprovka gets it down. Carter resets, stretch pass. Good job there by Cazzetto to telegraph and take that away. Kim back to Graham. Kim in a tight spot, eludes Yasin. Back to the sideline for Weddle. Chips it to an open area, it's Graham. Graham, stretch feed to Tate. Jordan in pursuit of the ball, taking a peek there is Rivera, and Rivera knocks himself out of bounds. It's going to be a corner here for UNBC, and maybe just what the doctor ordered here for the Timberwolves, Morgan, as T-Wolves not a lot of time inside the MacEwan zone offensively, so a chance for them to maybe crash the crease here and create some more chances. Scott will go far side. Tate into the middle. Header in front. Ball is loose and it's picked up there by Yildiz. It's airborne. Scott on the header. It gets it back in play. Ball comes back to Tate. And it's nicely intercepted there by MacEwan as Stauffer plays it to Cazzetto. Cazzetto. Tate in a battle for it. MacEwan may be looking for a call, though they're not going to get it. Tate got the inside track on the defender, trying to stretch free in the middle. Now Scott. Next to go wide side for Waddell. Waddell. Long boot. Poprovka picks that one out of the air, but a well-placed ball there by Jacob Waddell from about 25 yards away.
It was a good look and a good opportunity.
Waddell, of course, one of those many first-year players in the UNBC lineup today, getting a start. See some more contact there as Trevor Scott a little bit over-exuberant on the MacEwan attacker. Yildiz. Dugas goes wide side. Comes to Vera. Vera. Shot good stop there by Antapis. Now Graham will clear. Skirts away from one check. Comes to James Jordan. Jordan into the middle. Goes far side to Waddell. Near to far. Waddell will go right back here to Stewart. Stewart mishandles the ball. Comes back to MacEwan. And a pass will straddle the line here as the Griffins looking to go 1v1. Yildiz checked off it nicely there by Trevor Scott. Stewart back to Cazzetto, and Carter's got his arms up in the air towards the official. Not happy about something. UNBC trying to get upfield here, but Clapstein on the intercept. Comes to Yasin. Yasin, quick kick, saved there by Intapis. And he'll throw it ahead here for grab. Clapstein. Back into the middle. And then a good collision there between Yasin and Cazzetto. Bit more incidental contact than anything. And both players peel themselves off the turf. Ball comes back to Tate. He's pushed down to the turf. That's a no-no. That was a bit earlier from the Griffins players. And Tate will throw in here for UNBC. It'll actually be a free kick along the sideline. So chance here for the T-Wolves to get a little bit more forward again here on their offensive attack. Actually, it looks like he'll let Kim take it. Kim, bit of a curve and over top the bar, and even despite the fact it looked a little bit high, it kind of dipped at the last moment there and made life a bit more challenging for Poprovka than what it initially looked like there.
It looked like a promising opportunity.
So Kim in the corner. This time it'll be from the far flag pole. Kim. Into the middle. End over end. Cazzetto gets hauled down side of the goal. And it's going to roll out. UNBC will get another chance at it here. This time it'll be a throw-in. It's going to come to the hands of Luke Graham. And I'll actually defer to Kim here. We'll do the honor. So it'll be a deep throw-in here from Kim. Kim. Bit of a header. Scott gets a piece of the ball. It's airborne here. Stewart trying to kick it down. No, Kim gets it back. Header in front. A lot of traffic there, and Poprovka goes down as well. And the whistle blows, but good pressure there by the T-Wolves on those trio of opportunities deep inside the Griffins box. Now Graham intercepts, good pressure there. Him and Yasin battle step for step, and a nice job there by the first year. And it looks like the MacEwan player is going to get the yellow card here. I thought maybe it might have been Graham to start with, but the first year does a good job of drawing the infraction.
It's just that repetitive contact and trying to pull him down.
And I think what helped Graham there in that scenario is that he kept moving his feet.
Yeah, you got to have those quick feet when somebody's on your back like that.
So Tate here with an angled free kick from about 30 yards out. Tate will go far side with it. Now Scott. Dipsy Doodles are on one check, kicks it wide. But again, UNBC getting some chances here to begin half number two.
Yeah, definitely some opportunities right at the start here.
Graham cuts in the middle as he again battles with a couple of MacEwan players, this time number 17 for them, Felix Guite. Now Tate back on it here for the T-Wolves. Tate, good speed, crosses it in for, oh, and redirect there by Stewart is snuffed out last moment. Now Scott kicks it away over top the goal, and T-Wolves starting to feel it again here as Tate's speed down the sideline very evident as they get Stewart to crash the crease there, and then Scott on the initial attempt lets that one go and just a little bit too far over top the goal.
Scott has had 2 good looks now.
And I mentioned this to Brooke during the Friday game, and I'll mention this to you too, but I think since, I first saw him, into the starting 11 the first opening weekend for the T-Wolves, it just seems like he's slowly gotten better and better the more he's played, and just one of those guys where he had to work his way into the lineup, and now he's finally getting that extended opportunity.
Because the more you get experience, the more you grow, so the more that he's utilized, you would assume he would develop more as a player as well. And it takes a lot of effort to get into that lineup.
And Trevor, of course, another one of those local guys here from Prince George in the UNBC lineup. MacEwan trying to slow things down here for the first time in a while. Near sideline, it's Vera. One-on-one against Graham. Good recovery by Graham. Good job there by Graham not to give an inch there to Vera. Long angle kicked, headed down there by Kim. Ball still a little bit airborne as stepping up there is Graham. It takes a bit of a ricochet out the far side, and after all that, stepping up there is Trevor Scott. MacEwan still with a bit of a beat on it. Graham will kick it aside here and actually soft tap it to Jordan. Graham takes a bit of a shot, and MacEwan's got to be careful here not to get in trouble with the cards as another yellow, this time to Yildiz, and that's the second yellow already of this half for MacEwan.
Yeah, just being a little careless with your late tackles and a little bit too chippy.
I think the referee is going to have a meeting of the minds here and just maybe to try and cool things down a little bit here as you can sense the aggressiveness starting to pick up here, and I'm not sure if that's just the desperation shown by the T-Wolves or not, but it's definitely rubbing off in a negative way on the Griffins.
Yeah, it's starting to get more volatile on the field.
Good athletic play there by Graham to keep it in, as that was a lengthy boot that was airborne. Now Stauffer inside his own box, and Tapas has to let it go. A hard tackle there from behind as Tate hits the deck. Another one of those hard plays from the Griffins, and that too was borderline.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Can we just soft chip it here to Stauffer as no one was really getting up the field that time. Now Stauffer will return it back to Kim. Strong boot, looking to crash the crease. Here's Tate. Can he get a piece of it? Oh, nice perfect jump there by Poprovka to get under it in just the nick of time there as Tate was right in the kitchen there of the MacEwan goaltender. T-Wolves almost a strip and steal in transition, but a whistle is blown. Griffins on the comeback here. Stretch pass to Vera. Splits Graham and Jordan. Vera straddling the line. Quick boot goes wide of the goal, and just missing there was Yasin. And nice rush there by Vieira to pressure the defense, thread the needle to Yasin, but Seven and White unable to finish.
It was a very dangerous look there, and a big gap left right in front of the net.
Tate straddles the line, somehow gets out of trouble there as bull rushed, pushed out of play by Rivera, but keeps the ball. Scott. Open wing for Waddell. Stauffer. Gun hold. Back to Graham. Graham bends it in, and Poprovka with the save. That might have been a little ambitious by Graham. He might have been hoping for maybe someone from the middle to maybe crash in and get a bit of a redirect, but did not work out that way, and Poprovka, all he had to do was fall on it.
Sometimes you have to try those plays, though, and keep the goalie honest.
Stauffer. And Tapas. Back to Stauffer. Waddell pushes it in front, trying to go down the sideline. There was Charlie Stewart. He almost caught up to it, but it's swiped out there by MacEwan. Most of the play, though, in this second half has been inside MacEwan territory. So if there is one positive fall on here, if you're a UNBC supporter, it has been the fact that the possession has been mostly in the visitor zone as Poprovka box out gun hold there neatly there as Graham tried to thread the needle for the fellow rookie.
That was a good play by the keeper.
Poprovka hasn't done a ton in this game, but when he's been called upon has answered the bell for MacEwan. And he'll look to send it away here. Waddell, soft chip, now Tate in behind, one-on-one, push from behind, that's got to be a penalty kick there, as Tate was clearly pushed in the back, and we'll see if he'll get a penalty shot here or not, and it looks like he will, so a good opportunity for Isaac Tate to really get the Timberwolves back in business here as he's one-on-one against Poprovka. That was clearly a push from behind, negating what looked to be a prime scoring chance.
Absolutely, it was.
So Tate against Poprovka. Big moment here as Isaac Tate will let this one fly. Tate coming in, and he scores! Isaac Tate makes it a 2-1 game in the 64th minute. And the deficit is cut in half to 2-1. And that's a huge goal. That'd be an understatement, Morgan, as the T-Wolves desperately needed that.
Yeah, just injecting a little bit of energy into the lineup now. That momentum.
So with 25 plus minutes to play in this game, the Tate goal changes the complexion a little bit. Now it's MacEwan's turn to respond as the lead is now just one. MacEwan with the ball, turns it over here. Stewart gets a beat on it. Waddell tries to bull rush it. It's kept in. Played back into the middle. Now it's Carter. Carter looking to let this one fly, and goes top corner. What you did not want to have happen if you're a UNBC player is to give one right back up, and George Carter, or Chance Carter rather.
It was a really well-placed ball. Yanni didn't have a chance.
Yeah, Carter from about 35 yards away with an absolute bullet. And you say maybe a backbreaker for the T-Wolves as Carter lets that one fly top cheddar. And they establish their 2-goal lead here at 3-1. So as soon as Tate made it a 2-1 game, MacEwan comes right back and restores their 2-goal advantage, and that deflates any sort of momentum the T-Wolves could have captured from that penalty kick goal.
That's hard to return back from.
So Carter from Yildiz, so that's 2-point effort from Yildiz today and a 3-point effort from Carter. As Graham gets it back to Jordan. Jordan looking to cross. Yeah, there's a bullet. Yeah. So yeah, Carter from Yildiz is just getting confirmation. Somebody asked to see if MacEwan scored right after, and yes, they did. It wasn't very long after the Tate goal. But Carter now with his 3rd point of the game, and for my money has been arguably the best MacEwan player on the field at number 28 in white. You know, he scored the 3rd goal and he set up the other 2.
Yeah, he's been fundamental in all of their plays, really.
Yildiz now with a goal and a helper, and is the road getting that much longer for UNBC. And maybe some of that just inexperience creeping in again as you work so hard to get it within 1, and then maybe some misplays or some inexperience. Although that was a perfect shot, though, by Carter, granted. But just some of that maybe situational awareness as see Graham takes down his man, Yasin. See Graham on the turf as well as he'll recollect himself. So we're now approaching 70 minutes here in this Sunday matinee. And Graham will stay down and the trainer will come out for UNBC. Graham looking for a water bottle here. So this will definitely add to the stoppage time at the end. And I'm not sure if it's just a cramp or a groin, but it's definitely in the leg there, as you definitely see the trainer asking Graham where the discomfort is.
Yeah, grabbing his quad.
Probably one of the few players UNBC can ill afford to lose for any length of time, as he's trying to warm up that quad there.
It's a little chilly, so once that starts to seize up, it's a little bit harder to get it going again.
It looks like Graham will be okay. So I'll just re-enter the play once it's whistled in. Just trying to stretch that out a little bit more. Possession here for MacEwan. And Graham will re-enter. So a sigh of relief there from the UNBC bench with Graham back in the play after what looked to be a quad issue. Now MacEwan back in, sharp angle. This is Dugas on it. Long pass, looking to connect with Vera. Vera dances in. Now Clapstein. Clapstein in the middle, saved by Antapis, bounces off the hands. Kim hands it right back to him, and he'll more cleanly corral it here. As the T-Wolves will break out one more time. It's Graham. Burst of speed, lets it go. Wide side, it's Waddell. Looking for Stewart. Back to Waddell. Hands it back to Stewart. Now Scott pinches in. Empty space there for Graham to maneuver. Graham skirts a check, lets it go into the middle, looking for Tate in behind. He tries to get there. He almost navigated his way through that tight spot. Almost splitting the defense, but it will bounce down to Poprovka one more time. Poprovka will then dipsy doodle past Jordan as MacEwan chips it back to center field. On it now is Yasin. Yasin, one-on-one. Far side pass. Connects. This is Dugas into the box area. Now it's Carter. Carter cutting in, and he rips it again. Chance Carter, a 4-point game, is second of the half into the game, and pretty much might do it here as Chance Carter, an absolute stud of a game, second goal and fourth point, and it's now 4-1 MacEwan. It looks like we're going to get some more substitutions here for UNBC forthcoming. I think Anton Zadonsky's going to head to the scorer's table here momentarily. You see him change into his jersey here. Zadonsky scored in Friday's 6-2 loss to Calgary, and maybe he'll add a bit of a spark here late in this one to make it a little bit closer. So Dugas will get the helper on the Carter goal as they try and spring Yildiz on a pass. We're going to get a MacEwan substitution here. But it didn't seem that long ago. UNBC was a shot away within tying it, and then everything just kind of fell back to MacEwan's way, and just all the air has been kind of let out of the balloon, so to speak.
Yeah, MacEwan's doing a great job at cycling through and finding those open spaces being vacated by players, and not to mention number 28's is quite lethal on the ball at any area right now.
Zudu McConan will come in for MacEwan. Felix Guite will come out. Anton Zadonsky will check in for UNBC. Koss Nice, that'll be playing up here for UNBC as well. MacEwan back in, gets a shot away, saved by Antapis, and he'll step up and throw it in. Gunhold. Scott. Now it's Stauffer. He gets it ahead to Gazzetto. Gazzetto gets past number 16, McConan. And a whistle blowing here is got some commotion right in front of the UNBC bench. So Waddell's out of the game. Also out of the game is James Jordan.
UNBC substitution. Entering the game, number 15, Anton Sadonsky.
Good at partial intercept there by Scott. Now Carter kind of bull rushes Graham. He kind of dipped the shoulder a little bit on that. Ref says, oh, it was a little bit too aggressive, and UNBC will set up right in front of the MacEwan bench here on this kick. Cazzetto. And Tapas. Back to Graham, or Kim rather. And Tapas will let this one go, and a little bit of an early jump there by MacEwan as he tried to climb Koss Neistat over the top there.
Yeah, a little bit of a piggyback there.
Frank kick from just past the midfield point. Isaac Tate will take it here. Timberwolves jockeying for position here as Tate about to let this one go. Well placed ball cutting in, and Poprovka gets to it first, and he'll collapse right on it. Poprovka skyhook bit of a shot there to then Carter manhandles Scott, and Carter kind of looking back there, but a little bit too much of an advantage by the looks of things. Other than Carter's 4-point game, Morgan, what's maybe stood out to you from MacEwan, the way they've played on the road this afternoon?
It's their quick interchange where they quickly get into spaces and get players in behind, but they also are cycling through. So when a player vacates an area, another one will enter it. So you've pulled one of our Timberwolves out of the space to create a space for someone else.
Ball bouncing all over the place here as Tapas gets it into his feet, courtesy of Cazzetto. Ball intercepted. Good tackle there by Cazzetto. And I've liked Cazzetto's game today. You know, there's been maybe a couple of nervous moments just because of the inexperience, but the effort's been there from number 5 in black.
He's made some really good plays, and absolutely you have to get over that nerve at the beginning, but he's making some good plays now and some strong tackles.
Stauffer, now Zadonsky. Plays it to an open wing. Stewart will give chase, but not before it bounces out. And Vera will throw it in. Neistat will give chase. Kim to throw in. He'll redirect traffic. Zadonsky back to Kim. Bit of a give and go between these two players, and tries to thread the needle. Neistat hooked up again here, and Neistat maybe a bit of a target here coming off the bench, and one of those guys that can flash talent at both ends of the field, and maybe a focus there for the Griffins players as he's made his presence felt in this game. Headed down nicely there by Cazzetto as it's chipped there by Graham, and it straddles the line and out. And we're going to get more substitutions here for UNBC. So I do believe that's Matthew Botello in the game.
substitution.
Trevor Scott will come out.
22nd, Liam Van Laar. Exiting the game, number 28.
Liam Van Laar will come in for Grant MacEwan as Carter will take a seat as his day is over. And what a day he had with 2 goals and 2 helpers.
No kidding.
Stauffer.
UNBC substitution.
Now Botello goes right into the fray here in the hip pocket of Vera as he hauls him down. A bit of a cheer there for Botello on the tackle.
Way to come into the game and set the tone a bit.
Well, that's kind of what you have to do if you're coming off the bench. You want to be hard to play against. You want to play with fast and no fear because, you know, down the line you maybe want some additional opportunities for yourself.
Exactly. Make your presence known.
End over end there. Headed down there by Kim. Ditto by Clapstein for MacEwan. Sandu dishes it off far side. Picked up there by Graham. He'll tap it off with the heel. Throw in by the Griffins. Met there right away by Cazzetto. Griffins forced to backtrack here. Nice. That almost picked the pocket of Clapstein. He had to be careful there, did 13 in white. Graham. As you see head coach Steve Simonson just trying to continue to prep up his team a little bit here and just keep them focused, keep them hungry, to just keep battling. That's really all you can do when you're going through all these growing pains with such a young roster, 21 of the 27 either being first or second years. Clapstein, far sideline, stretch pass and partial step there was Yassin, is watched there by Botello. Yassin looking for a shooting angle, can't find one. Botello doing a good job of keeping up with him. Now Vieira cuts in, waiting, shooting, and Natapis with a piece of it and redirects the ball out of play. Great save there by Yanni.
He's made some really good, solid saves this game.
Yeah, I think he's shown well for himself, not only in this game, but also on Friday when he came in relief, Yanni. And it's one of those guys that you try and root for a little bit. It's been of a challenging tenure at times for him, but he's made some good saves today, and he's battled in the goal. That's what you expect out of your backup goalie.
Absolutely.
Header in front, goes off the side. Nice, that gets a piece of it as well. Comes all the way back to Vera at the center field stripe. Nice, that in his hip pocket. Sandu into the middle. Long kick goes over top the goal, and MacEwan continuing to put the foot on the gas pedal here offensively despite being up 3, and they've been very aggressive when they've had a good look today.
You can't let off the gas when you're ahead. You got to keep pushing.
Zanonsky with the header, comes to Kim. Soft chest pass in behind to Stewart. Poprovka comes well out of his goal crease and had to peel back, and all worked out there for MacEwan as Kim will play it to the side. Graham. Far into the field. Now Tate. Twisting, turning away from 2 and finds his way out of bounds. So we enter the 86th minute here as time definitely ticking down on this Sunday matinee between the Griffins and the T-Wolves. Griffins up 4-1 here at Masich Place Stadium. Brendan Paulu alongside Morgan Hollick. Next weekend will be Friday, Sunday games for UNBC. Zadonsky misses gun hold there as he was a bit off balance when receiving the pass. Gun hold. In a battle for it, elects not to pursue. Vieira high up in the air. A battle for it. Bit of a jersey tug there as Kim was hauled on unceremoniously, and then Cazzetta gives him a shove. And then one of the MacEwan players looked to get in the way on that free kick and maybe asking for a bit of a retake. The ref says no. And that draws the ire of some people. And Cazzetta goes down on the follow through. He is injured. That was McConan. And Cazzetta is still down. And not what you want to have happen if you're Mateo Cazzetta. He seemed to get contacted hard on the follow through and then he hit the deck. You see McConan playing that hard game late in the game off the bench. Tapas will send this one away, end over end. Kim from about 25 yards away will set up here for a free kick. Shots on goal, 10-6 for MacEwan in this game. See, with these shorter distance free kicks, it's not uncommon to see everybody kind of straight across to start. Tate'll run. Kim will let this one go. And goes wide. He aimed that one.
Yeah.
It just hooked.
It looked promising from this angle.
And another late sub here for MacEwan.
MacEwan substitution. Entering the game, number 26,
Alan Sichet will come in. And Samuel Vieira's day is done. Another high collision play is going down as Graham by the looks of it. It's been very physical at times between these two schools.
Yeah, it has been.
And Tapas back to Kim. Ewan back on it here now on a partial break for the Griffins, but overstepping the ball there was Yasin. Quick kick saved by Antapis, and he cradled it in just in time as McConan was right in his kitchen there. Now a stretch pass there by UNBC. Neistat falls down, got the header away. And it's booted out by the Griffins. And another T-Wolves player is down. It looks like Cazzetto again. And he'll head to the sidelines. And Quarterner will check back in. Kim, deep throw in. Intercepted by the Griffins. Hard back is Neistat, as is Stewart. And the Griffins just content to kill time here, up 3. Pass goes wide side to Yasin. Nice boot, comes to Gunhold. Botello redirected there by Sichet. Then Sichet and Botello get into it there, and that draws a yellow card. Not sure what that was all about.
Botello did a little ring around the rosy with the ball, if you will, and threw it out of bounds when the Griffin player went for it.
Yasin coming in.
A yellow card is being assessed to UNBC number 4, Matthew Botello.
And a long shot over top the goal, and that's going to do it here as the MacEwan Griffins come into Masich Place Stadium and win 4-1 over the UNBC Timberwolves. A massive game by Chance Carter. 2 goals, 2 helpers, multiple points by Ollie Yildiz, 1 and 1. Ricky Yasin also with a goal as well, but MacEwan, for the better part of this game, Morgan, was much the better team today.
Yeah, unfortunately, it did definitely show that the Griffins were the stronger team in both possession and attacking plays. Just unfortunate for the Timberwolves today.
If you're the Timberwolves, you got to go back to the drawing board, and what do you think is going to be the area of focus here now that you maybe arguably had your worst weekend of the season, at least in terms of the scoreboard, and just where do you go from here?
I think just reflecting on these games and looking to see, like, we can't be playing the ball to people who are already checked, and looking into different areas, because we tended to go towards the same areas that were already blocked. So looking at that and looking on how to grow.
So Griffins win 4-1 over UNBC here as we wrap up another Canada West home weekend here for both T-Wolves soccer teams. The women will be back in action Friday and Sunday here from Masich Place Stadium in Prince George. A 6 p.m. start on Friday, followed by a noon game on the Sunday. So for Morgan Hollick, this is Brendan Paulou saying good night here from Masich Place Stadium.